So I was out in my studio today and I was thinking you might be interested in what my day looks like today on a Monday. It could be I turn it into a week as well, but one step at a time. I'll just do today. So I'm going to turn you around and show you what's going on out here and talk to you about what's happening for me this week. So Monday is a prep day. I'm actually, I think, going to prep for the next 2 weeks today. So I've got 110 board and, I can't remember what size that is. I think it's 80 by 120 board on the floor. And I need to decide the subject matter. These 2 paintings I know will be going to Hong Kong. I've also got some work in progress. I've got 3 pieces at the moment that are ongoing. So there's this Cornish piece here from when I went in November and stood right here where this wave was coming in, the tide was coming in, and the cliff was behind me, and that suck and pull of the waves and the power and the energy is what I really wanted to translate into paint. So I'm trying to decide whether this painting is finished or not, and I don't think I can decide that just yet. I think it's going to take a little while to make a decision on it, so it might get turned to the wall. So that means later on today I'm going to have to change my colour palette. I think colour is going to really help me decide what I want to paint this week. I feel like colour's a real driver. And then produce a sketch. That's the sketch for this painting over here, which isn't finished. I've still got some work to do on the waves. Again, this was from my trip to Cornwall in November. So there's some really lovely shapes. I particularly like this bit, where you just can see what's going on underneath the water. And that play of light right on the horizon line, that you can see the weather right out to sea, miles and miles and miles away. So there's some work to do on this piece still as well. So I think I'll get on with some of that today, but I'll have to see. And then dirty sink, and then there's this painting here as well that I painted some of it out last week because it wasn't working, and painted back in some of the blue, and so these branches need to have leaves on as they go across. It's sort of like little moments or accidental moments like this that I'd like to keep in, and obviously that's quite an important part of the painting as well. But it's quite interesting to see it again this week after the last time I saw it was on Friday. So I've got some decisions to make. Walk the dog as well at some point, which means it will give me a chance to have a think about these paintings. But for now, I'm going to slap some gesso on the boards and see if any thinking happens as a part of that process as well. And yeah, crack on. So I'll show you what happens next. Come on. My boards are, well, prepped with their first layer, and the heater's over there heating them, not me. And my walk gave me some ideas. Did you see me splashing through the muddy pathway? And it gave me some ideas for actually a river, but a river almost like a pathway, except I haven't got a photograph I want to work from. So this is from Scotland, standing on a bridge this year. This is from Dartmoor, you walk down here and you go to Mother Cove. So I was actually trying to get to the coast, and behind there is a tributary of a river that runs into the sea. Because I want the more autumnal colours, And then this is Scotland this year again. So this is the river again. So this is the River Dee, and we stood in, I always get Ballater and Braemar, stood on the bridge overlooking the River Dee when we went on a walk. And this is Scotland probably about 3 or 4 years ago. This is a different area. Again, this is Strathdon. And this is the River Dee again, but from a completely different angle with rocks. And this is in Dartmoor again, but I want to have an autumnal scene, so I've really saturated the colour on this one. So you can see I actually don't have the picture that I want to work from, but I do really like, let me look, that's a fantastic shape, and so is that. So I really want these shapes. So what I'm going to have to do in my sketchbook now is bring together a composition that has elements out of, and this happens quite often. So when people say, where is this of? The answer is quite often out of my head. It's from lots of different experiences. What I've also got is I've got this here, which is one of my paintings, which actually I quite fancy doing something not dissimilar to this on that longer board as well. So I don't really know what I'm doing, but I do. So I need to start taking what I like out of all of this. I do look, that colour's fantastic. And look how this here, because it's wet, it's just the light reflecting, it wasn't actually puddly. And then this here mimic each other. So I think I've got a combination of what I need. You can see the Colour Aid palette on the floor, and you'll be able to see me swiping between the different compositions on my iPad so I can get that pathway of light in, because that's the star of the show in this painting, that pathway of light on the river. And just looking at the different shapes on my iPad and seeing if I can include them all in this composition to get something punchy. Those are probably the most interesting parts out of my day. I've got some more work to do. I've got to decide on the next composition. I've got to put another layer of gesso on the boards, and I didn't get around to doing any of those paintings today, so we'll see how they fit into the week. But that's probably the most interesting bit, so hopefully you found that interesting and useful and helpful. I've got gesso on my face. Oh well, I'll get some more on there in a minute. So yeah, let me know what you think. If you found that useful, it'd be great to know. Otherwise, yeah, it'd be good to know. Thanks for watching. Is that a thing? Anyway, bye.